Go.
And they, so we blew the game open in the first 8 minutes, and it worked out really well. But
Right.
I told myself I'm never going to do that again because it worked once. I don't know if it can work twice.
Don't
Now
test
this
fate.
wasn't a wholesale change.
Yes.
But still it was the same kind of idea. Let's jolt things up. And we start 4 freshmen against a team that has beaten Florida. I think they beat Wisconsin early. They had KU beat at Allen Fieldhouse.
Yep.
TCU's a solid basketball team, so we beat them convincingly.
The guys that came in. Now, okay, so you're looking for two things. You want to see your veteran guys respond, which they did.
No question.
Okay, they certainly did. But you also find out what's going on, from a mind and chest standpoint with those young fellas.
Yeah.
And they came out and played their tails off.
Yeah, and to do it in February is a lot different than doing it maybe in the middle of December.
Sure.
Where these guys now, they've got confidence. They know they can play. They're chomping at the bit. They want the opportunity. Okay, you want it. Here it is. Do something with it. And all 3 of them did. And so, again, I don't want to put too much into it because I said this after the game, and I'll say this now, and I said this to our team. like this team is not about who starts and who comes off the bench. It's really not. We learned that with Isaiah Johnson, right? He didn't start most of the first part of the season. Now he is. Like, well, we went on a 6-game losing streak with him in the starting lineup.
Yep.
It's like that's not the difference. The difference is how the guys that are playing, that are in the game at that time, are playing, and that's where this change maybe was the impetus for a change in our team, and it needs to be for us to be successful as we head down the stretch run.
You've used the word connectedness in regards to your team.
Yep.
Define what that means.
Well, what that means, and it's more to me. We've been a pretty good assist team all year. We've been a pretty low turnover team all year. Everybody thinks about connectedness and unselfishness as an offensive player, but it really shows itself defensively, because connected means I'm guarding the ball, Mark, and I get beat, and I know you're there to help me.
Right.
You and I are connected, and then you come to help. Well, somebody else has to come and help you in with your man, and that we call that rotations, and we have to be connected, help the helper, be connected in our rotations, and then have multiple efforts, because the one thing I tell our guys, like the 30-second shot clock, it takes the other team about 5 to 7 seconds to get the ball across half court into their offense. So you really don't have to play defense for 23 to 25 seconds, but you have to do it for that entire time, and you have to do it with unbelievable energy to be effective in this league, because the players are too good, the coaches are too good, the offenses are too good, and if you don't do that, you're going to get exposed, and that's what's been happening all year. And we made TCU play poorly offensively. We made that happen with our energy, with our effort, with our activity, and our getting our hands on balls and playing shots, and we didn't shut them out. Nobody's pitched a shutout in college basketball all year.
Nope. And
nor will they. But you just have to wear them down, and that's what the good teams do.
When you talk about that concept, I think of Houston, right? They kind of set a standard.
And Iowa State.
Iowa State's the same way.
Yeah.
But when you play Houston, you come down that first time with the basketball. We've seen this since we've come back in the league here. And you get that sense like, okay, we're going to have to work for it tonight.
No question.
That's what you're talking about, right? That kind of attitude where the opponent says, okay, this is going to be a battle.
Yeah, we're gonna dictate to you defensively,
right.
And then offensively, you better be able to handle that pressure and that the imposing your will on the other team. And if you can do that, you're going to be successful. If you can't, you better score a lot of points and make a lot of shots.
Right.
So.
And in this league, you're not going to outscore many people because everyone's talented.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody's talented.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, and when you get, the one thing about our offense is designed to get good shots, and you have to work to get it. But when you get the good shot, now you got to make the shot.
Right.
And I look back to that Kansas game. We played well enough. We got enough good shots. We just shot 30% in the second. We make a couple shots in that Kansas game. We win,
Yeah.
And because we played well enough defensively, but we didn't make enough shots in the second half. So at some point, you got to make shots as well.
One thing that I think CU fans have always appreciated, Ted, is the quality of the character of the type of player you try to recruit here to Colorado. And so I'm always impressed by the guys that you bring in. But I want you to talk a little bit about some of those young fellas you played yesterday. I mean, number one, Jalen Holland.
Yeah.
I look at him and go, wow, he could really be something special.
Really special. Defensively, his athleticism. He got a rebound. I think I mentioned it in the post game. It was actually an offensive rebound. I thought it was a defensive rebound at the time. It was an offensive rebound in the first half where he went up, and with amongst the trees,
right.
And
because he's athletic and long.
He's athletic, and he jumped, and he got it with two hands, and he came down with it, and it was a big time. And then, so he's got the ability to rebound the ball. He's a great defender. Their point guard for TCU, the Harding kid, who's a transfer from Iowa, has played really, really well this year. And so Jalen made him work for everything that he got, and he really wore him down and made him play a subpar game. So he's got the ability to defend, rebound. He can make shots. He made his first three that he got, which was great. He can put the ball on the floor and attack the rim. He can hopefully start distributing the ball and getting some assists. We had 5 players with 3 assists or more the other night. So
that's a big number.
Yeah, big number. But Jalen is his game is gonna evolve, as he evolves here at the University of Colorado. But a great future in front of that young man. And comes from, again, a great family out of New Mexico, and they're about the right things, and I love that kid.
Josiah, first off, just a personal note on Josiah. In the world of NIL, how he does not have a shampoo deal, I don't understand. Because he's just
That's a good point.
He looks like a superhero when he runs down the court, and it's just flowing in the breeze. You must look at him just with great envy at times.
Yeah.
You think?
Mark, that's hitting below the belt.
I know.
I don't appreciate
I'm
that.
sorry. I apologize that I did that on the air.
That's okay.
I
That's
say
all
stuff
right.
like that to Tad in private.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but
he's
he's a big physical guy.
He's got flow, as they say, flowing locks. But no, Josiah, another unbelievable young man from a great family, been raised the right way, is about the right things. He is a kid that, look, it's an adjustment for each one of these guys going from high school or prep school, which both Jalen and Josiah went to college, and you just don't know how quickly that's gonna happen. And he's another guy. His game will evolve. Sometimes you come in with an expectation of what you're going to be and what you're going to do your freshman year. The reality might turn out to be something different. But here's the reality with Josiah. He brings energy. Mm-hmm. He brings toughness. He is figuring out who he is as a player. Right. And then, as we head into his sophomore year and the off season, now it's about, okay, how are we going to build upon your skill set, and that's going to be true for Jalen. It's going to be true for Josiah. Taco is another kid that plays with great energy, great passion. His skill set is going to continue to evolve as well. So, but all three of those guys are learning to play within themselves, and that's really important as a freshman, especially because sometimes you think, well, I can do this. And then, I remember back to Tyler Bay or McKinley Wright, or you name the freshmen that we had that are maybe trying to do things that they aren't quite ready to do at this level yet. Right. And it's like, wait a minute, time out. Let's just do the things you do and do those well. And let's build upon that as your career evolves.
Sure. It takes time to mature, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Buffaloes are Wednesday night going to play down in Baylor. That's what time we got that game? That's a 6 p.m. Mountain Time game.
Yeah, 6 p.m. 7 o'clock down there. Yeah.
We're going to hit the air at 5:30 on the network. Our show tonight brought to us by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, brewed for full-time bus fans. More with Tad Boyle on the other side of a quick break. We're here at Carelli's. We're out here Monday nights from 7 till 8 o'clock for Buffs Prime Time. Back in a moment. This is Colorado basketball from Learfield. University of Colorado basketball is brought to us by Molson Coors, Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment, Choose Chill, proud partner of Colorado Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. We're back here at Carelli's. We're on Monday nights from 7 till 8 o'clock. Always a great spot to swing on by, but we're out here Mondays with the Bus Prime Time. One more segment with Tad Boyle. Got Isaiah Johnson to come, and JR Payne will be joining us as well. The women getting a great road sweep last week. Before we start talking about Baylor a little bit, I want to ask you about Isaiah Johnson as well. Taco Ifeala is a guy that it intrigues me, right?
Yes.
He's 7 feet tall. He's a wonderful personality, by the way.
Unbelievable, yeah.
And he gets a start yesterday. He plays big. He keeps his arms up. He alters a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Well, what do you see from him, kind of moving forward?
Energy, toughness, effort. He's the old bull in the china shop. Kind of guy that just is he's gonna screen people. He's gonna hit people.
Doesn't know what he doesn't know right now, but
doesn't know what he doesn't know. Yeah. But you know what? He's gonna give you everything he's got.
Love it.
He's gonna learn step by step, game by game, practice by practice. He's just a wonderful young man, and I love him because he doesn't know how strong he is, and when he puts his body on you, you feel it. Yeah. Our staff was telling me, and I'm so focused on different things, but they said, I guess he laid out one of TCU's guards on a screen that was, and the guy didn't know what hit him because you run into Taco. There's always, when there's a collision on the court, there's a bouncer
and a bouncee. Yes.
Yeah, he's the bouncer.
Yeah, I can see
you
that.
bounce off Taco. He doesn't bounce off you.
How did you find him?
It's funny. Jalen Holland was at Dream City, which was a prep school down in Arizona.
Okay.
And we had recruited Jalen, even his junior year in New Mexico, and I'd gone down to, see him with his prep school team, and they're working out. And they've got really talented guys. Guys going different places and big-time schools. And I see this big kid, and it's like he's playing with energy, and his hair's on fire, and he's like – and so I asked his coach, I'm like, what about this big kid? He said, well, nobody's really recruiting him. I'm like, really? So I went back, I told our staff, and I said, this kid's pretty good. I'm not saying he's raw.
He's really raw,
but he – man, and I said I got a chance to talk to him after practice. He's a wonderful young man. And
Tad, they don't build them that look like that.
No, they don't build
often,
them like that. And so to be honest with you, it's funny. I asked we called Jalen, and we said, Jalen, Taco's a teammate. Tell me what you think of him. He says, Coach, he plays hard, and he's energetic. He's a great teammate, wonderful guy. So we start recruiting him, and we end up offering him a scholarship,
nice.
and he took it. We know a lot of the people in the Phoenix area. We've always recruited, Phoenix, Southern California, as you know, has been good to us. So, we took a chance on him, and I'm glad we did because he's got a chance. He fits our league from a physicality standpoint that you need down low in the trenches. And so he's just going to get better and better and better. And, it's too early to be talking about the offseason, but I do know with Taco, the sky's the limit, as he continues to progress in his game development.
I did tell Steve Engelhardt, your strength coach, I said, that guy, that Taco guy, he's going to make you look really good.
Steve gets no credit for Taco.
No.
Taco kind of, he gets he might get credit for some other guys.
Yeah, for BD putting weight on. Yeah.
Well, like a guy like Isaiah, who's let's see what he does with him over the next year or two, and let's then we'll see how good Steve is.
But
so I like keeping challenging him.
Yeah, without question. Yeah,
but he gets no credit for Taco.
No. Taco's got way too much foundation there. Speaking of Isaiah, he has been such a wonderful player to watch this season. Yeah. And obviously you knew that he had great game, but it really has shown us.
I keep saying, you never know how they're going to acclimate and how quickly they're going to acclimate to the collegiate level. And he's acclimated in a big-time way relatively quickly. We found that out in Australia. We actually found that out in our practices before we went to Australia. But then you're like, okay, well, in Australia we'll be playing against some older guys and some professional teams. Let's see how he does there. And he was fantastic there. So, he's just been unbelievable in his transition from high school basketball / AU basketball to college basketball. And the one thing that makes Isaiah so unique in today's world, he went to the same high school, never transferred.
Wow.
Played for the same AAU
What
team.
a novel concept.
Never and so, it is a novel concept, but he comes again, another one. I keep saying it. I hope you guys don't get sick of hearing it, but great family. I mean, raised the right way. He's got the right value system that coincides with what we believe, and so really wanted. He saw, and it's funny. We mentioned about Taco, how I talked to Jalen. Well, with Isaiah, his dad is a workout guy that works out a lot of NBA players. So Isaiah's grown up around NBA players and working out with them and against them. So he's not afraid of anything or anybody, and that's what makes him so fearless on the court. But when it was time to recruit Isaiah, KJ Simpson, who Isaiah's dad was working out. They got talking about Colorado, and obviously KJ helped us in the recruitment of that. But I called KJ and I'm like, okay, KJ,
give me the skinny.
Can you co-sign on this kid? And he's like, Coach, he reminds me of me when I was his age. He's not quite physically as developed, but his game is right. And I was like, KJ, that's all you needed to say. It was like, okay, it's let's move forward with this. And Isaiah and his family, they kind of had an idea of what they wanted for him and the kind of program, and so it was just the right fit at the right time, and obviously he's our future.
That's right. Leading the Buffs in scoring right now at 16 per game.
Yeah.
He'll be up here in just a moment. Before we let you go. All right, you've got Baylor coming up on Wednesday night. When you look at Baylor, that's a good-looking basketball team. Now, their record and what they look like don't seem to quite balance.
No question. It's one of those things where you're starting to watch film and you're like, okay, this guy can play, this guy can play, this guy can play, the guy coming off the bench can play. And it's like, well, why is their record what it is? And I told our team this today, they're coming off a really, really good win for them at West Virginia, where things kind of clicked for them defensively. They held West Virginia to 53 points. We're obviously coming off our best defensive effort against TCU at home. So I'm sure, they're saying, hey, let's build on this. Let's build on this performance. And we're saying the same thing. So here we'll meet Wednesday night in Waco and see who builds on it more. But I'm anxious for that opportunity. It's funny, they're 2-7 in the league. Both their wins have come on the road, which is very unique. So they haven't been a good home team, but I'm sure they want to change that. And we haven't won on the road since we beat Arizona State, back in early January. So it's early February. It's time for another one.
All right, Buffs on the road against the Baylor Bears on Wednesday night in Waco at 6 o'clock. Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, head coach Tad Boyle. Buffaloes and Bears on Wednesday. The aforementioned Isaiah Johnson is going to join us after the break as we continue here at Carelli's of Boulder. It's Buffs Prime Time, and this is Colorado basketball from Learfield. University of Colorado basketball is brought to you by Pepsi. Grab yourself an ice-cold Starry Lemon Lime flavored soda for the game. Starry hits different. Starry, a proud sponsor of Colorado Athletics. Back here at Buff Prime Time at Carelli's of Boulder, Isaiah Johnson, freshman for the Buffaloes, joining us. Look at that. He was just telling me, I said, have you ever been to Waco? His father's from Waco, and so you said it's going to be filled with Johnsons.
All my relatives are down there, cousins, grandparents, everybody. So
you know what I always say, the more Johnsons, the better.
Yeah.
You know, I that really.
Yes, sir.
You have made quite a splash here, Colorado. You having fun?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Especially playing with this group of guys.
Yeah.
I love them to death. So.
You got to give us some background. People ask about it all the time with your dad and your. We're down in Tempe here a few weeks ago, and Chris Paul comes walking up to say hi to you, and you just know all those guys. So give us the background on what your dad did and kind of what that did for your basketball development.
So my dad trains NBA players.
Okay.
So just as a young kid, he always had me in the gym with these guys. So it's really just I have this relationship with them now where it's like they're kind of like father figures to me.
Yeah.
I would say mentors, stuff like that. So, like you said, Chris Paul, he's always been for me, been there for me. His son, me and his son, we went to high school together.
Okay.
So, we've always been really tight. He's there for me always. I call him all the time. He watches every game, just giving me pointers and tips. So, I'm just really thankful for my dad to, be able to put me in that position as a kid.
So you grew up with that, so it wasn't, it was normal for you, right?
Yeah, pretty normal. I feel like right when I started going to the gym, I was definitely starstruck as a young kid, but now it's pretty normal.
Who is the guy? Dwayne Wade's your godfather, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, here's a Hall of Fame guy. Who was the guy that you met and you went, holy cow, I can't believe I'm meeting him?
LeBron.
Well, LeBron, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
that's my favorite player. So when I first met him, I was like, I had no words.
King James, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So when did you start getting on the court and playing around a little bit with him?
I'd probably say fourth grade.
Fourth grade?
Yeah, fourth grade.
You were what, 10, 9?
10.
10 years old.
Yes, sir.
When did you feel like you belonged on the court with him?
Not till last summer.
Last summer, okay.
Yeah, last summer I really felt like physically, I'm still not there, obviously, but I was able to keep up. I just felt like my game has really evolved over the time. So, yeah, last summer coming into college, I really felt like I could belong.
So you've got that aspect of your basketball life. Then also having your father being a trainer. That certainly had to help you develop, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. We were in the gym countless hours all the time. During COVID, when a lot of people didn't have access, my dad had a gym, so I was in there every day before Zoom, and I think that really helped me develop.
Okay, now we like to make fun of Steve Englehart every chance we get.
I mean, so just me and him have a good rapport right now.
How do you do what you do? And I ask this question because what do you weigh right now?
Like 165.
165. 165 pounds. You're playing out there with all those aircraft carriers that play in the Big 12, right?
Yeah.
There's enormous bodies, and yet we see you just kind of fling yourself in the middle of all of them. And somehow you find a way to get to the hoop and lay it up amongst all those, 7-foot, 280-pound guys in there. How does that happen?
I feel like first off, it's just like it's a mentality.
Yeah.
Not being scared to go in there, even as a small guy. I watch a lot of film, study the game, so there's just little crevices, little spaces I can squeeze my body into, especially being small.
Yeah.
So I just really think it's a mentality and not being scared.
You talked about LeBron being your favorite player. Is there somebody though from a game standpoint you think I kind of pattern myself after him?
Definitely Kyrie. I watched a lot of him growing up.
Yeah.
So just quick, fast, shifty guards, stuff like that. Being able to finish around the rim and shoot jump shots.
All right, you're a very smart guy. That's obvious. Okay, so as you analyze yourself, because I'd imagine if you want to play in the NBA, you want to be there with all those guys that you know. So you're always looking at your game. Okay, so you know where your strengths are. Where do you look at yourself and say, okay, I got to work on this?
Like I said before, the weight room.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest piece for me. Because with that. I'm able to play better defense, as Coach Boyle would want me to say. Being able to guard my guy and stuff like that. I think, being able to shoot the pull-up jumper in the mid-range is good for me. Being able to use my right hand as well as I use my left hand. So, I think those areas are great for me to work on.
Who do you live with right now? One of the players?
Leo's my roommate, and then like we have a suite mate, and it's Ian and Josiah.
Okay. Leo, you live with Leo.
I know.
Leo is the young Italian center who's about 7'2".
Yeah, he's a foot taller than me.
Yeah. What do you guys have in common?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, him being from a different country, he's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I've taught him a lot, got him acclimated to the United States, I would say. Okay. So, you know, I just think it's actually a beneficial thing that we didn't have anything in common.
Yeah. Yeah, because you really have to work to get to know each other.
Yes, sir.
And figure things out.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's a good bodyguard, I would think, to have with you.
Great bodyguard.
Yeah. The way you guys played yesterday, how do you capture that and use it moving forward?
I mean, like, we've talked about it all year. We've had the formula. We know what to do. I just think yesterday was just like it all came together, it felt like. We had the energy, the intensity, the effort. But, you know, it's just things we talk about all the time. And now I just think we got to build on that. You know, coming into the next game on Wednesday, we just got to keep 1 foot forward and keep that same energy.
That whatever that is, that eye of the tiger, that intensity, that energy, it's sometimes tough for a team to capture, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it was really contagious, though.
Yeah.
I think we had an agenda as a team, not really being selfish out there. We were really selfless. So, you know, once one person got it going and another person got it going, we just wanted to see each other succeed.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have a little sister.
A little sister. Is she an athlete as well?
She plays volleyball, yes.
Oh, she does? Okay.
Yeah.
Was mom or dad a basketball player?
Mom was also a college basketball player at the D1 level. She went to UTRGV.
Okay. How did your father become an NBA trainer?
You know, he started out as a high school coach down in Houston, Texas, and then he went to the NBA and coached for the Rockets, and through that he met some of the players. How
about that? Great stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, you are a wonderful player for Colorado. We're very glad you're here. We can't wait to watch your career develop here at CU. You know that? All right, let's get a win. And all those Johnsons in Waco on Wednesday, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hear it for Isaiah Johnson, outstanding young man for the Buffaloes as they take on the Baylor Bears on Wednesday night. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back on the other side. And JR Payne, the women get a road sweep over Kansas State and Kansas the last few days. So we'll talk with JR in a moment. This is Colorado basketball from Learfield. Back once again on Bus Prime Time here at Carelli's of Boulder, out here Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. If you are going out for a meal in Boulder, you got to come to Carelli's, I'm telling you. All right. JR Payne of the CU women get a win last week at Kansas State, and then on Sunday, it took them 5 extra minutes, but they finally got it, 69-66 in overtime to knock off the Kansas Jayhawks. And now they get ready. They got a couple of top 25 teams coming in. Play for K game on Wednesday with West Virginia coming to town at 7 o'clock. Well, that was a little bit of a nail-biter yesterday.
It was a nail-biter, yes. I mean, we just, I don't know the actual stats. Once it was over, I just sigh of relief and move on to the next one in some ways. But I think someone said we missed 7 consecutive game-clinching free throws.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Is this true? Yeah.
Okay. Is that right?
I don't know. It sure felt like it at
least. Who was coaching free throws last week? Was that you?
I don't know, but
Coach
today, all we did was watch film and shoot free throws. So, I don't know. I know everybody's going to ask, are you going to work on it? Yes, we're working on it. But yeah, it was. But then in the end, I was just so proud of the resilience of our team, because there were possessions that, again, free throws, right? They could have iced the game, could have put it away, and you win going away. But some of the kids that missed those free throws ended up hitting clutch free throws that actually did win the game. And so the mental, just resilience to stay engaged, stay in the game was huge, and ended up helping us be successful.
Tad talks about connectedness, and yesterday on your post game with Corey and Carol, you talked a little bit about that, where you said the reason we won this is because of the way this team is close-knit.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's not just that they all like each other. I mean, that's awesome, too. That's not always the case. It's very much the case this year with this team. But it's that they trust each other, and they've gotten to a place where they know that it's not going to be a perfect game on offense or defense. People are going to make mistakes. We're going to stumble. They're going to go on a run, what have you. But they trust each other to stay resilient and do their job when it counts, and they have each other's back, whether it's defensive rotations or being able to deliver a post-entry pass when it's needed, or be confident to knock down a shot or whatever. They just genuinely trust each other. And it was really awesome, during timeouts, it was so disappointing to in regulation, because we thought we won it, right, on an offensive putback at the end of the buzzer, but then they waved it off. And so the emotional sort of letdown after that going into overtime, and, we had players that hadn't been in the game very much saying, come on, let's go pick it up. You're going to help us win this game. Like, really, really feeding confidence into each other, which is so cool to see.
You're talking about kind of the imperfect game, and I was just thinking about, there's a great quote by Vince Lombardi, who, and I'll butcher the quote, but it's something along the lines of, gentlemen, we're shooting for perfection, knowing full well we won't get there, but we'll surpass excellence, or something along the way. Right? Is that one of the toughest things to get a team to understand psychologically? Because like you said, you're going to make mistakes. There are going to be turnovers. You're going to miss shots, all these different things. Yeah. But the idea that we continue to pursue where we're going, understanding it's going to be imperfect.
Yeah, and we've been really working on next play mentality. You do something really great, or you really stumble and do something you didn't want to do. Next play mentality. So it's something that we talk about. It's something that even in practice we're talking about. They remind each other. We're really, really focused on having, we call them championship huddles, like being able to you get 12 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever it is. We got to be able to game plan in that moment. So there's lots of areas that our team has grown, even in the past month, like tremendous amount of growth, in our ability to be resilient, execute down the stretch, different things like that.
How do you foster the concept? You can have a player, when they make a mistake, they look over the shoulder, right? How do you foster that concept about play hard? You don't have to look to me just because you make a mistake. How do you kind of balance that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you don't want to make 10 mistakes in a row, right? Then you got to take them out. But,
yeah. No, I mean, we've never been coaches that quote unquote yank a player. When they make a mistake, we usually let them, work through it, and and then really try to breathe confidence into our players. They know they're not going to be perfect. They know we don't expect them to be perfect, but I think they ultimately know that we have a tremendous amount of confidence in them. They have a tremendous amount of confidence in each other, and I think that allows them to play through mistakes.
I just pulled this up here. This was released just earlier today that Ziana Walker was named one of the Big 12 women's basketball starting 5. That's one of the top performer of the week awards that they give out in the Big 12. She had a great game yesterday.
She did, both games. Yeah, she played really well at Kansas State.
About the way she's developing, though, what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Zai missed the first several months of season with an injury, with a foot injury, and so she didn't get to practice, train, do anything basically from June until November. And so we've just seen her continue to develop now that she's back on the court and been on the court. she's getting better and better in understanding just system. And, she's great on the defensive end. Just as good as she scored the ball, she defends. She's our best defender and leads us in steals and lots of different things. So she was key. She's from Kansas, played at Kansas State for 2 years. So it was kind of a homecoming family, grandparents, all of that. So it was really great to see her
that
play.
Could go the opposite direction sometimes.
It can.
Right?
Yeah, usually when you're older, you've kind of worked through that stuff.
Gary Barnett always talked about he hated when he had to bring Darian Hagan back to California because he was playing in front of family and never liked doing it. So that can sometimes go the wrong way.
Yeah, I thought she was going to play well, and she did.
Winning on the road can be awful difficult. That's a huge 2-game sweep for you when you start looking at placement for conference tournament.
Yeah, huge. I mean, and we haven't won on the road, in conference this year until this weekend, and felt like we'd stumbled a couple times, been really close and sort of blew it down the stretch. And so it was great for confidence. It was great for the standings. It was great for everything. And just moving forward, now we have 2 top 20 teams coming into Boulder. So it's a good, something to keep building on.
Yeah, I was going to say, too, in this league, just like in the men's side, it can be an unforgiving league.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the quality of teams.
Yep.
Now you've got West Virginia coming in, and followed by another top 25 team.
Yeah.
Great opportunity at home, but great challenge as well.
Yeah, huge challenges. 2 really different teams. TCU's been in the top 10 for most of the year. They lost to somebody this weekend. I can't remember. On the women's side, everybody's beaten everybody.
Right.
And so it's a little bit, I don't even look at the standings. Honestly, I don't really care. I just focused on West Virginia. But, yeah, 2 really good teams, different types of teams. West Virginia typically leads the country in forced turnovers. They've turned Baylor over 30 times a couple days ago, so definitely have our work cut out for us.
Right. Taking care of the basketball will be of a premium.
That will be the most important thing. That's all we're thinking about for 3 more days.
The Play for K game has become such a impactful event in women's basketball, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And Coach K Yao, is someone who had tremendous impact on the young women that she coached, and mentor, but also incredible legacy to continue to impact thousands and thousands of young people and women with the amount of money that's raised in her name.
Did you ever get a chance to cross paths with her?
I did not. No? I did not know, but Hannah, who works with us, on the women's basketball side, played for her, and so she shares stories about Coach Yao and the impact that she had. Certainly a great coach, but also just as a person.
Where's this team grown the most, do you think, here during the season?
I think our resiliency, for sure. And just, again, it's a group that's always liked each other, but our cohesiveness in crunch time has grown a lot. Even just in the past 2 weeks, we've made huge leaps and bounds.
That's the second time you said they like each other. Do you have to like each other to be a good team?
I don't think so. I've been a part of some teams that didn't like each other as much. Yeah. I don't know about on the men's side. On the women's side, it certainly helps. Yeah. But I think, every team has a different makeup. Sometimes people just, all they want to do is hoop, and they're able to, leave everything beside. And when you step on the court, it's just about hoop. And but I don't know. It's certainly a lot more fun when everybody gets along.
Well, there's a great legendary story about those great Pittsburgh Pirates teams. That those guys hated each other. They would never talk to each other, but they'd go and play well. And so I don't know if you have to.
I don't know. I think women perform better when we get along.
That makes sense.
Yes.
It would make sense. I would think so. Well, fantastic. We're looking forward to that one. At TCU,
really good. Yeah, really good.
Well?
Olivia Miles was the number 1 transfer out of Notre Dame last year. She's she's a top 5 prospect. And really good, and the team's good. They lead the world in scoring and lots of different things. So
they lead the world in scoring.
The world.
Who knows? Hey, what we need, though, is to make sure all you fans get out there for these next 2 home games for the women. All right? The men are on the road on Wednesday. They're back this following weekend. But the women are home Wednesday night, West Virginia, 7 o'clock, and then TCU on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So let's get out and support JR Payne of the women. The men, they've got their game on Wednesday. Again, that's a 6 o'clock Mountain Time game. We'll get that one underway at 5:30 on the network. Coach, good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks. Go Buffs.
Tad Boyle, Isaiah Johnson, JR Payne, and everyone here at Carelli's tonight. It's always a great spot. We're back out here next Monday from 7 until 8 o'clock as we enjoy Colorado basketball and great Italian food. Thanks for joining us. This is Colorado basketball from Learfield.